Dear Startuppers, good afternoon and welcome from Luxembourg. My name is Sven Baltes. I'm a Startup Acceleration Advisor at Luxinnovation, and I'm your moderator of today's session, which is the event, the Fit for Start Day. Now I've introduced myself. You see on the right side of your screen, there's a chat box. So please do not hesitate to introduce yourselves, put your names, your LinkedIn profiles, etc., etc. Let's actually create a dynamic session also in the chat, and let's create business opportunities also here via this platform, which is the Fit for Start Day. Let me just say a few words about the Fit for Start program. Fit for Start is the flagship acceleration program here in Luxembourg, which was initiated by the Ministry of the Economy. It's organized and managed by Luxinnovation and has the great support of many tremendous partners here in Luxembourg, namely the Luxembourg Space Agency, Technoport, the Luxembourg City Incubator, and also LuxProvide, which has just recently joined us for this adventure. Today we come together to celebrate our edition 11 graduates and also to formally announce our edition 12 cohort. They have just recently started actually the coaching phase, which is an exciting 6 months period where they are coached, challenged by our jury members and coaches over the course of the program. This is today's agenda. So we are starting things off with a welcome address from my colleague Stephanie Silvestri. Unfortunately, our CEO, Sasha Baillie, could not be with us today. Then we are moving forward towards an introductory speech from our Minister of the Economy, Franz Fayot. It's a great pleasure to have a video intervention from him during this event. Afterwards, and that's also a great pleasure from our side, it's great to have our new partner, LuxProvide, with us, namely with their CEO, Pascal Bouvry, who will tell us a bit more and provide us more insights about high-performance computing and Luxina. Then I think a very, very exciting part of this event is, of course, the Fit for Start 11 graduation ceremony. And in this part, I have 3 exciting personalities with me from the edition 11 cohort that will share their experiences during the coaching phase of the program, during a round table. And then at the end of the session, or towards the end of the session, it's my pleasure actually to announce officially the Fit for Start 12 cohort, which is the first time actually that we have onboarded 4 different tracks, which are ICT, Space, Health Technologies, and the newly created High Performance Computing and Data Analytics track. Now, let me present to you Stephanie Silvestri, Senior Advisor, Startup Acceleration at Luxinnovation, for a short welcome speech.
Thank you, Sven. Dear startups, Fit for Start supporters, and all of you from the startup ecosystem, it is a great pleasure to welcome you in the name of Sasha Baillie to our Fit for Start event. We are gathering today, once again digitally, to celebrate the completion of the 11th edition of Fit for Start, as well as the launch of the 12th edition. This was meant to be a face-to-face event, but unfortunately the situation does not yet allow this. Let's hope that it will be possible next time. And in the meantime, let's consider ourselves fortunate that there is a way that we can nevertheless celebrate together. So today, during this webinar, we will present the startups that have successfully graduated from Fit for Start 11. They have all completed 6 months of intensive coaching. Graduating from Fit for Start takes a lot of energy and effort. So let us congratulate you, the graduates, and applaud your commitment and hard work. Today is also the moment to formally announce the names of the startups admitted into edition 12 of the program. To get there, they had to go through several intense pitching sessions in front of the jury. So well done, everyone. But before letting you discover the startups and their projects, we would like to highlight 2 aspects that we believe are significant for the future of the program. First of all, we have noted that with just over 200 applications, we have received less applications for this round than previously, which is certainly due to the pandemic. but above all, that the quality of the applicants and the maturity level of the applicant startups is of much higher quality. In terms of products and business development, they are much more advanced and also their teams are larger. These are very positive indicators for our startup ecosystem, and it is essential that our accelerator program interprets these signals well and seizes the opportunity to accommodate the needs of these really high potential startups. A second observation we would like to put forward concerns diversity. Diversity is one of the main strengths and characteristics of Luxembourg's Fit for Start program. Our participants span a wide range of ideas, skills, sectors, backgrounds, and nationalities. However, there's one key element of diversity that is missing. We seriously lack female applicants. This is something we need to address and find a way to encourage more women to take part and put themselves out there. Therefore, I would like to call upon those of you who have a great startup project but may think it's not quite ready. Give it a try. You will see the experience of applying in itself will help you grow. Also, we would like to applaud the two women who will present their startups today, not only for their inspiring projects, but also for being true role models in the startup world. Let me complete these brief introductory comments by thanking on behalf of Sasha Baillie all those of you without whom this program could not function. Starting with our partners, in particular Technopore, the Luxembourg City Incubator, the Luxembourg Space Agency, and LuxProvide. Our jury members, the seasoned entrepreneurs, investors, and experts, including Fit for Start alumni. In addition to selecting the participants, you have freely devoted your time and energy to the program. And the budding startups. Your feedback, constructive criticism, and networks are key success factors. Thank you. Thank you also to the teams at Luxinnovation who carry out their job with a true sense of purpose. And I would like to share a message from Sasha, how grateful she is to have you all at Luxinnovation. Finally, the driving force behind our Fit for Start program is the Ministry of the Economy. Not only do you provide the funding for the program and the startups, you constantly drive for excellence, see new opportunities ahead, and provide us with the means to seize these opportunities. We would like to thank all our colleagues at the Ministry for this greater collaboration, and in particular, Minister Fayot, who gives the political direction. Thank you for listening. I wish you all a very nice event, and without further ado, let me hand over to Sven.
Thanks a lot, Stephanie, for this inspiring welcome note. We certainly are very, very happy that we have a strong network, value network of stakeholders around the Fit for Start program. And as you mentioned, the driving force behind the program is indeed the Ministry of the Economy, which is why it's an even greater pleasure today to have a video intervention here from our Minister of the Economy, Franz Fayot.
Dear startups, dear Fit for Start supporters, dear members of the startup ecosystem, good evening and welcome. I am very pleased to celebrate with you the end of the 11th edition of Fit for Start and the beginning of the 12th edition. Being an entrepreneur means first, seeing opportunities where others see problems, second, rising to challenges, and third, thinking out of the box to find the right way forward. The past 2 years have been very challenging, but have also brought new opportunities, thanks to the behavioral changes and technological progress resulting from the COVID crisis. In order to capitalize on this and ensure a long-term sustainability, many startups, but also established businesses, have had to adapt and rethink their business. Acceleration programs like Fit for Start have a particularly important role to play in this context in supporting startups and helping them adapt to future challenges. Accelerating the digitization of key sectors and ensuring a sustainable digital transition of the economy is a crucial challenge. It is essential if we want to build a competitive, resilient, and sustainable economy in Luxembourg for the long term. Startups have a key role to play in these efforts. Most, if not all, of the Fit for Start participants who are with us today are working with digital solutions and are making an important contribution to the digitization of our economy. The public sector is also investing in initiatives that facilitate this digitization. Luxembourg's unique business-oriented high-performance computer, Meluxina, which went into operation last year, is among the most important public investments in this field. While most HPCs are pure research structures, Meluxina makes 65% of its capacity available to businesses of all sizes and in all sectors. To help businesses with no or little previous experience in working with supercomputers, we have also built an ecosystem to provide this support. It includes the experts at LuxProvide, but also the National Competence Center in HPC, the university, and other research centers. In addition, there are R&D and innovation funding measures that can be requested for projects involving the HPC. In order to further capitalize on the supercomputer capacities and promote the use of Meluxina by startups from an early stage on, this new edition of Fit for Start includes a new track focusing on HPC and data analytics. This is an excellent initiative, and I would like to thank Luxinnovation and LuxProvide for having made this possible in a record time. 3 startups will benefit from this new Fit for Start track. They will be coached in their use of the HPC. The deep tech startups that base their business models on the use of big data often develop technology solutions that require substantial scientific or engineering efforts and need more time to reach the market. This new Fit for Start HPC track demonstrates the importance of long-term thinking, also in startup support. It is essential to invest in ventures which have a potential to bring substantial benefits to our ecosystem and economy over time. 2 of the startups in the HPC track originate from Luxembourg. This testifies that data expertise and entrepreneurial thinking around data can be found locally. I am also delighted to see several startups from outside Europe joining the program today. Nevertheless, it seems that in the latest edition of Fit for Start, more than in previous editions, local startups from Luxembourg and the greater region were selected. This is in part certainly due to the travel restrictions imposed by the pandemic, but it is also evidence of applications received from Luxembourg and the greater region having increased in quality and substance. This shows the strength of our growing local startup community, but it is important to underline that we want to keep the reach of Fit for Start at an international level. Dear guests, one of the core missions of Luxinnovation is to empower companies to innovate today in order to be ready for the challenges of tomorrow. And this is exactly what Fit for Start does. So let me wish all the new Fit for Start participants good luck for the journey that they are now embarking on. I also wish the graduates and all the other representatives of the startup community that are here today much success in the future. You have a key role to play in Luxembourg's economy of tomorrow, and we are counting on you. Thank you and have a great evening.
It's great to see that our Minister of the Economy, Franz Fayot, is such a great ambassador of the Luxembourg startup ecosystem, but also the Fit for Start program. As our minister mentioned, the new cross-sectorial high-performance computing and data analytics track is indeed an enriching opportunity for startups relying on high-performance computing capacities. But also in general, the high-performance computer, our supercomputer here in Luxembourg called Meluxina, is open at a level of 65% for businesses of all types and sizes. So in general, it's really a fosterer of businesses that are relying on supercomputing power. But it's now my pleasure to have with us Pascal Bouvry, the CEO at LuxProvide, who is going to tell us a bit more on high-performance computing and Luxina. Pascal, it's great to have you with us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sven. It's really my pleasure to be here and to partner with Luxinnovation on this great initiative. So I think that Mr. Fayot already introduced quite well Luxina and the goal of LuxProvide. Let me put it a bit in context. HPC, so basically what we call the supercomputers, where we reserve a few happy ones, and targeting mostly excellence in science. So now with the Luxembourg government, we decided to start democratizing it and also using it as very nice instrument for the economy. So you know that Luxina is an investment of around 30 million euros. So I don't think that a startup in particular would be ready to start investing on that, and would also not use it fully day over day. So we start mutualizing this effort at a national level, and I think that is now a key cornerstone of the Luxembourg data economy. You know the numbers. So from the rankings we got in last June, they're saying that it's number one in terms of greenest computer in Europe and 36 computing wise. So it's very powerful machine. But the idea is that we need to ease up the onboarding of the users, provide the means for the users to come in and some. And we realize that different maturity of companies. So some of the companies are already using HPC in the past, mostly outside the country or a smaller scale from the university, but now we like to use Luxina. Some never used any kind of HPC, somewhere in the cloud, somewhere just on a regular desktop. So how can they take advantage of this nice machine in order to go faster, to work on very larger problems, or also maybe to cut into cost, making some experiments on the machine in the virtual world instead of making it in the real world. So that's what we like to do. And what we noticed also is that there has been a quite dramatic shift of the HPC usage over the last years. Before, what's only used, I would say, for simulation and modeling by physicists. Now, as has been already highlighted, we are in the data economy, so we are at the stage of big data. Just to mention one number, the Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2, so the Copernicus satellites, we have already been collecting over 30 petabytes of data, the Luxembourg Space Agency. So it's starting really to be huge, and not huge at, I don't know, NSA, but really huge already also in Luxembourg. So that's good to have the data, but now it's about time also to start processing them and giving the means to companies to start processing them. One of the thing to mention also is that HPC start opening doors also. As I mentioned, we need to bring the data there, so that we so-called HPC continuum, so from the HPC to the cloud, to the edge, to the IoT. We need, for instance, to help companies collecting the data, bringing them to Luxina, making something like new generation of artificial intelligence, neural networks, and then deploying the neural networks on the local devices. So that's kind of new usage. This is something that we were foreseeing when designing Luxina in a very, let's say, modular way, responding to different needs. But I must confess that I'm shocked by the way Luxembourg economy, the startups, is now definitely already ready for this kind of new usages. So it's not only the classical way of just making few computations, but really not only computations, but AI and HPDA that is running nowadays on Luxina. So startups are very, let's say, important for boosting the economy in Luxembourg, and they are the ones that do need some help to start taking advantage of this. From the different projects, I think that we got 11 different projects that were submitted. Again, we saw a big difference in terms of usage, going from modeling brains and going for artificial intelligence for finance, going for
this knowledge graph that brings some, I would say, combinatorial explosion of cases to explore, to find back the new knowledge and maybe model the risk in finance, or also things like I was mentioning before, where you have some sensors all over the world and they like to collect the data, process them, we dispatch them to make local decision making and so on. So a lot of this has been represented along these 11 candidates, and the ones that have been selected also represent this, with also different, let's say, effort that would be needed either to be able to scale the application to match Meluxina, or maybe to port the application and so on. So I'm very delighted to be partner of this great initiative. Looking forward this let's say additional help to have these companies later on to start to be full-fledged customers of Meluxina also, and hopefully to be the next unicorns. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Pascal, for these great insights. As you just mentioned, I think the beauty of this new vertical, but also in general, to make use of this HPC capacities, is that it's very cross-sectorial. As you mentioned, we had many applications also in this new track, but they all come from very diverse backgrounds, very different sectors. So I think that's something that is really also showing the diversity of our ecosystem when it comes to the local startups, but then also to the future, let's say, development of the local Luxembourg startup ecosystem and economy, by inviting startups that make sense to the ladder and where we can actually create win-win situations between all parties here in Luxembourg. Pascal, thanks a lot for your intervention. It's appreciated. And again, it's great to have onboarded LuxProvide for this new HPC and data analytics track as of the 12th edition of Fit for Start.
Thank you, and congratulations to the winners.
Thank you, Pascal. Now, let me also thank again our Minister of the Economy, Franz Fayot, for his video intervention, and Stephanie Silvestri for her very inspiring welcome speech at the beginning of this webinar. Now, let's move on in the agenda points. So I think it's time for a very, very exciting moment for our edition 11 graduates. So startups have, as mentioned, gone through a 6 months intense coaching phase where they were challenged by the coaches, the subject matter experts, but of course also by our jury members, which is also a very diverse group of people that we have in every vertical of the Fit for Start program. Before, however, officially, let's say, naming the startups that have graduated from the program, let me just quickly provide you a short video with some experiences of the graduates.
Two Stories is a mobile app that helps creators design beautiful, authentic, engaging content for social media.
Ultra aims to become the backbone of the lunar economy by solving all communications and navigation needs of the early lunar missions.
We at AI Evidence, we provide a solution that can help companies improving their working capital using artificial intelligence.
Novospace is developing Lego computers for new space applications. Customers can plug and play our products to make their own custom high-performance computer.
We have started it with nothing more than a draft business plan and came out the other end with a solid pitch deck, a product market fit, and some really great insights from our coaches and the program's jury.
We came to Fit for Start seeking to move from a product focus into a services provider, and the program put us through business fundamentals and detailed examination of everything from assumptions of customers' need and requirements through to the detailed financial modelling and operational delivery have certainly put us in a much stronger footing than prior to the program.
With the guidance of our coaches, we conducted extensive customer discovery and went back to the roots of why we do what we do, which laid the groundwork to drastically evolve our brand, the app, our commercial proposition, and our value into something ready to have an impact on people at scale.
Participation in the Fit for Start programme and associated coaching sessions substantially changed our minds when it came to the direction we were going. Where previously we had expected to continue with organic growth, we realised that time is of the essence and the need is immediate for a solution such as Cascade, particularly for SMEs.
As a result, we have engaged dedicated salespeople, fulfilling the need to build as soon as possible a sales-oriented organization.
For the next 12 months, our plans will be introducing paid product, working a lot with monetization, growing the revenue, also maturing the product itself and expanding to new markets.
We just closed 1.5 million fundraising, and for which we will use to accelerate the customer acquisition, mainly in Benelux, France and Germany, with our direct sales team and with partners, but also accelerate sales in the US where we have ongoing opportunities with partners.
After we prove the scale of our platform, we will be pursuing Series A funding around spring and summer in order to take this global.
Now that the initial testing is completed, we will further engage with prospective clients to help them develop the solution they need based on our modular products. Also, we are developing software compatible with our hardware, and we are collaborating with software companies around the globe to have their software products running on our computers. Finally, we are preparing to open a new round of financing. Thanks for your time.
What a nice video. And actually, this puts me back to last year when we sat together with our coaches, with all of the stakeholders, working hard on the different business cases of yours, trying hard also to make you graduate from this program, which is in the end something that most of you actually achieved. So that's actually a great feeling to also stand with you guys today and be able to share this great moment with all of you. I think for all of you, it goes in the same direction. It has been a challenging yet exciting 6 months journey with good moments, with challenging moments, and I think the most important in the end, with learningful moments that actually allowed also to strengthen clearly the business cases and the further development of all of your startups. So now I think we spoiled already some of the graduates here in our video, which is not a big issue, because now let me just move forward with naming actually the graduates in our ICT vertical first of all. And here I would also thank again our vertical leader Laurent Sulin, who was in charge of managing this ICT vertical over the last 6 months, meaning from June to December of 2021. So here are our graduates. AI Vidence, Apollo, or also called No Big Deal. We have Cascade Labs, ChampChain, CodeHive, MakeWit, a spin-off from the Luxembourg University actually, and we have Two Stories, which are the graduates from our ICT vertical in Edition 11. Congrats to all of you guys. It's well deserved. It was a challenging time, and I think you all deserved to make this happen over the 6 months. A special pleasure, of course, for me as being the vertical leader of Space is to also name today my graduates in the Space track. So guys from the Space, guys and girls from the Space vertical, congratulations to Black Swan Space, Clutch Space Systems, Mission Space, Novo Space, and Plus Ultra Space Outposts. It was a real pleasure to work with all of you over the 6 months. I think we had very good times. Also, together with our coaches, we really pushed stuff forward. So I'm very, very happy with the end outcome of this. And it's a great pleasure to have you all here today, hopefully in this webinar, to celebrate this exciting moment with you. Something important that I want to mention here is, please remember, all of you, Fit for Start is only just the beginning. There's a lot more to discover in the Luxembourg startup ecosystem, but also from Luxembourg or in Luxembourg in general. So there's a bunch of opportunities waiting, and there's a full plate of actors that are happy to support you further in your journey from Luxembourg. So that's something, have it in mind. Let's create a long-term relationship here, and let's push your businesses forward and move it to the next level. Now, another exciting point of today's agenda is actually that I can say that we have 3 nice personalities with us today of the Edition 11 cohort, which are Julia Mahadeva from 2 Stories. We have Carlos Manuel Entrena Utrilla, who is the CEO and founder of Plus Ultra Space Outposts. And it's good to see also Simone Latorre, who was a coach in the last edition in the ICT vertical. Guys, it's a great pleasure to be with you today for this roundtable. The objective of this one is to share your experience of Fit for Start, the main takeaways that you have done over the course of the last edition, edition 11. But before we start, dear audience, now is also the moment for you actually to be more involved and more interactive with us. We have 3 very nice people that have done the experience. So on the right side of your screen, you have the question section. If you have questions that are relevant and are important to you, please don't hesitate to put them in there. And then at the end of this, let's say, roundtable, and after a lot of things have already been shared, we'll take up the most relevant ones and we'll address them directly to either Julia, Carlos, or Simone, because those are the people that have operationally been involved in the program and can share their experience at first sight. So without further ado, Julia, Carlos, congrats again, first of all, for your graduation of the Fit for Start program. It's well deserved. And it's appreciated a lot that you are here with us today. Now, Julia, over the course of the program, was a lot of challenges, a lot of different materials, coaching, activities. Tell us a bit about the journey it has been for you and 2 Stories.
Sure. I guess in terms of all the participants of the Fit for Start program, 11th edition, we were the most early stage product in the company. I assume that. And at the beginning, when we joined the Fit for Start, our main goal was basically to launch a business, because we already launched a product. It was already live, because we did our own iterations. We experimented with the users, with user feedback, with some growth tactics. But we really wanted to launch a business. So that's why we joined Fit for Start, because we assumed that for us, it would be a good springboard to actually do something better and bigger. Yeah. But during the program itself, I guess from the jurors' perspective and from the coaches' perspective, it probably was very interesting to see how how we will be shifting our priorities and changing our goals, because we also had our own challenges during the program. So at the beginning, we thought that we will be able to launch monetization, but then we had some challenges. So then we were quickly shifting to growth tactics and then acquiring users and working on the growth experiments. So yeah, I wouldn't say that the journey was smooth. It was bumpy enough, but I guess that's what you usually expect from the very early stage product and very early stage company. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Julia. What was the most challenging part, if you would have to recap now after the program?
I wouldn't say there was a really challenging part in terms of the program itself, but the program, it's tied to 6 months, right? So you have to commit to some sort of goals that you would achieve during the program and basically show it that you're progressing and doing something with the company that you really wish to succeed. And basically everyone wants you to succeed within the program. So for us, the main challenge was basically time, because we are a really small company, a really small team, and we were basically bootstrapped and self-funded at the beginning. So for us, it was how are we going to achieve all the things that we committed with such a small team and making sure that we actually done something significant. So it would count with the jury that, okay, yeah, this company actually succeeded, they did something. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, I mean, it's a challenge for every company, the time and resources.
Clearly it is. Thanks a lot, Julia. Carlos, we got to know each other very well as you participated with Plus Ultra Space outposts in the space vertical. So we had a lot to do with each other over the last 7 months, I would say. What are your thoughts on the program and especially on the coaching phase, of course, of the ladder?
I mean, for us, Fit for Start has been overwhelmingly positive. It has been a great experience, both at a personal and a business level. But I think from the company side of things, it has really helped us get a more structured approach to everything we do within the company, to our business development, to our investment pitching, to the way we structure our own internal story. That has been very rewarding. It has been a challenging process because, you know, when people start challenging your very basic assumptions, it can be difficult at times, but it's definitely a worth effort. And that's what we value the most. I mean, we've of course gotten a lot of establishing ourselves in Luxembourg, starting some collaborations there, but now we're already seeing the results. I mean, since we closed the coaching phase in December, we've started very, very good, successfully talks with investors. We expect to close a round within a couple months, and that's the response we're getting now. It's not what we're getting before Fit for a Start, so we really see the progress there, and we're really happy about it.
Awesome, Carlos. Simone, let's change perspective. Although I don't like to say that, because in the end we are all in the same boat over the coaching phase of the program, and actually we are pulling hand in hand. However, you have been a coach, so you have been coaching and contributing to these guys' business cases over the last 6 months. So what are, from your perspective, the key learnings and takeaways a startup benefits from when participating in the Fit for Start journey?
Well, you've seen most of them in the video that you played, which was actually very comprehensive in covering them all. But if I have to give you an answer that it is a bit with insight, perhaps, is the fact that, first of all, startups that come to the program, they don't expect that they will learn a lot about their own company. So Fit for Start really pushes them to test all of the aspects of the business: customer needs, validation of the value proposition, financial analysis, go-to-market strategy, you name it. Therefore, I really believe the startups will understand how important it is to follow a structured approach when they want to bring a business to life. And Fit for Start puts them right in front of such a structure with, hopefully, will offer a methodology that startups will retain, not just during, but after the program itself. But in addition to that, actually, the teams joining Fit for Start will, and I've seen that very well with the startups in ICT, will learn that having an idea and executing upon that idea, it's a completely different game. For some startups, this will be, let's say, a gentle discovery, while others will learn it more the hard way. In both cases, the lesson will certainly be worth the effort spent during the 6 months in the program.
Thanks.
And I've actually seen that there is a great question for graduation itself coming in. Great questions. Please keep the questions coming. We're going to handle them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good reminder, Simone. We'll treat them at the end of our panel discussion, because I think this is relevant for all of you, and this also gives, let's say, a long-term vision to all of this. Thanks, Simone. Julia, another one for you, I think, that is quite interesting. As you know, there's a great group of people involved in the Fit for Start program that are named jury members. They have constantly challenged you, provided feedback, input, critical thinking also during the different steering committees over the session. How valuable was their feedback, support during the program, and how relevant was this, let's say, to your overall development?
Mm-hmm. So even though the jury sounds a bit scary at the beginning, also there's a bunch of people who are asking some questions, right? And sometimes this question could be uncomfortable for some founders. But I would say that if you think about those people, right, they genuinely want you to succeed. So they are basically investing their own time and their own minds to ask you some relevant questions for in terms of the business, in terms of the product, and whatever things that you're presenting in front of them. So from the practical side of that, it's basically a really good framework for your own thinking process, navigating around your business. So there might be, I'm 100% sure that there's going to be some questions that you never thought about. And even though you might feel that it's maybe not relevant right now, but if doing this exercise, thinking around some possibilities would open you some other doors and some other perspective that you would probably never even imagine that this is. So I would say that it's not a challenging, it's basically this exercise of making sure that you did this thinking process on your behalf, on your side. And I mean, all those juries, most of them have a really relevant experience, and half of them and more people, they are founders themselves. So basically, like for you as maybe like a first-time founder or second founder, it's a great chance to actually talk to someone who has this experience and take their minds and like use it as your own exercise. And the coaches basically, I mean, no one speaks about coaches right now, but the coaches are basically the extensions of your team. So they're even more invested in you and they're believing in you as well. So I guess that's also like really something valuable. Yeah. So I wouldn't say that it's a challenge. It's just something maybe uncomfortable at the beginning, but if you know the rules and you can appreciate that, that could be a really good experience.
Simone, can you confirm from your perspective again as a coach how relevant is actually this input from this, let's say, independent panel of people to also, let's say, introduce each time the new coaching elements?
I found it to be very, very useful because in reality, we as coaches, we go along the journey with the startup, so we get every sort of insight into the startup. So sometimes even our feedback is actually biased because of the additional information that we know about the company. We sort of like grow connected to the company and the team especially. While the jury really brings this level of a third-party independent body because it doesn't grow a connection throughout the program. It really examines the startups in the 4 moments of the program. I think it's absolutely invaluable. Also for us, for coaches, for resetting a bit the tone of our thoughts and go in a direction that is more objective.
Thanks a lot, Simone. Carlos, you have mentioned before how rewarding this Fit for Start experience was. That's something also I think I also have perceived from your specific case during the program. You have actually onboarded the first employee during the Fit for Start coaching phase here in Luxembourg. So what did you discover, first of all, in the Fit for Start program, but then more importantly, maybe in Luxembourg and in the local startup ecosystem that wants you to make your business grow further here from the Grand Duché?
That's a good question. I mean, the first thing we discovered, or maybe the most important one about Luxembourg, is how willing everyone is to help you there, from Luxinnovation, from the other startups ecosystem, the incubators that we found, even the banks that we've dealt with have been extremely helpful for us. So getting set up in Luxembourg was much easier than we expected. And we've received a lot of support. When we started hiring, the hiring process, we received a ton of applicants. And it's been really easy now that we're set there to start working with the entities there. So we're about to kick off collaboration with the University of Luxembourg, research collaboration. We've done some MOUs with companies there. The last one we announced last week with iSpace. So joining that ecosystem has been a good discovery. I mean, in the space sector, everyone looks at the US as the place to go to. But I think Luxembourg is becoming increasingly so the place to go to, at least for startups. It's a good place to be in, very good network, and much easier to get a foothold in it than it is in some other larger countries. So for us, that was huge. That was very important. And that's why we moved so quickly with setting up our entity there and getting our first person.
Awesome. We have mentioned before the strong contribution also from the Luxembourg City Incubator, the Technoport, to the program. There are, let's say, respective incubation environments How relevant is it actually to you also to find your place now in an incubator here in Luxembourg, and how do they contribute to your overall success here?
Mm-hmm. Well, they've made everything very easy. I think that's the best thing they can contribute, because Fit for a Start is already an exhausting program as it is. As any other company, we of course have a lot of other things going on in parallel. So someone that just very easily gave us office space and very easily had us set up and supported our whole, also the legal paperwork for the establishment, that was very helpful, and we really appreciate it. And now that we're set up, we have our desk there. We really enjoy it. I mean, we really enjoy the facilities that we have, the access, and the good treatment of the team there. So we're really happy about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Carlos, for that insight. Actually, now I think it's the right moment to take one of the questions that we have from the question section, which was asked from Muhammad. So thanks a lot for that. What is the most important criteria for graduation? I guess there's no straightforward answer to that, but Julia, maybe you want to go first, and then I will let the others complement.
I would say that it's a progress. I think from the moment, if you compare yourself when you just joined the program and when you graduated, you have to show the progress, that whatever you committed to achieve during the program, you have to show that you actually did it. Or even though maybe something will change during the program, that's also okay. I think it's just a matter of the communication to the jury and to the coaches. That's not a problem at all. But making sure that you did something and you progressed and you evolved during the program, I guess that would be the main criteria, as I see it from the participant perspective. Yeah.
Simone, I see you noting down, so you want to add something.
Sure. I tend to agree. As a coach, I have to say that we have more than one parameter, and technically not a single parameter is the most important. Nevertheless, for most startups, strong progresses are the most challenging thing to show. And this is actually the interesting part, is that startups come in with the idea of over-exaggerating on their promises, but then we hold them accountable to their promises, and we check back on them 6 months later, and so we see, okay, what did you achieve of what you were over-promising? So, but yeah, absolutely, progress from the beginning to the end is critical. What we really regard as very important as well is, of course, the investability into a company. It really matters if the company has a solid business plan, a solid future, and we also really care about the commitment that they show for the present and the future to the Luxembourg ecosystem. This is, in the end, a Luxembourg program. And so it does make sense for us that we really want to give birth to as many Luxembourg success stories as possible from this program.
Awesome. Carlos, do you want to add something?
I agree in the general lines. Showing progress is what the jury really values. For us, it also worked a lot to really take the feedback seriously that we received. It's very easy to just go through one of the steering committees and discard whatever the jury is saying as, well, these guys don't really know the whole story, or I didn't have enough time to transmit it. But still, it's someone external looking at the company without any kind of vested interest, so that they don't want you to pay them, that they don't want to make your company valuation lower so that they can just get it for cheap. Mm-hmm. They're just giving their honest opinion based on what you have transmitted in those 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the steering committee. So taking that feedback seriously and implementing it, not only just making progress whatever way you want, but actually looking at the people evaluating you and seeing what they think. Taking advantage of that's been key for us.
Perfect. Thanks, Carlos. One final question, I think, that also allows us to look a bit into the future, gives an outlook. Simone, edition 12 of the program has just started 3 weeks ago in early January. So it's still very fresh for the startups. So what would you advise those guys that are now involved in the program to make the most out of their Fit for Start experience?
Super question, and I will treat it as giving 3 advices, but also 3 blackmailing notices to to the startups. So the number one that I can certainly tell you is be transparent. So when you join the program, you should always be open with coaches, with the jury, be very ready to list your achievements and to have fun, to boast your achievements, but at the same time, be very ready and open to list and talk about your challenges. Because if we're aware of challenges, then we can work together to solve them. But if we have to find out you are hiding something from us, then not only we cannot help you to solve it, but we'll likely also start doubting everything else that you've been telling us until this moment. The second advice I can give you is to use the ecosystem. So Luxembourg is building a very powerful and broad ecosystem around the startups. So this is in this journey, you're cited by coaches, by jury members, by other startups, by experts from Luxinnovation, private companies, institutions, and we're really all there for you. So you should really understand that getting this level of consultants to work for you would cost you a fortune if you were to organize it by yourself. So don't shy away from asking questions, support, contacts, and in some cases contracts to get your company going. And the last thing I have to tell you is absolutely have fun. It is a very tiring, it is an exhausting program for sure. So have fun and connect with the other startups, because the journey of an entrepreneur in general does not have to be necessarily a solitary one. So we have a lot of companies and a lot of people here. Let's do it together.
Awesome. Great tips and tricks from Simone. Julia, Carlos, Simone, great insights. So thanks a lot for your intervention in this panel, which we need to close right now. And let me again congratulate all of the graduates from our edition 11 cohort. You have deserved this, so celebrate this great achievement.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sven.
Awesome. Now to a no less exciting point, actually. It's the announcement of our selected startups of edition 12. And as we mentioned before, it's the first time that in Fit for Start we have onboarded startups in 4 different tracks. As mentioned before, ICT, space, health technologies, and high-performance computing, and data analytics. So without further ado, let me announce the selected startups. We have selected 7 startups in the ICT vertical, which is of course still managed by my colleague Laurent Sulin, Smart Beehive, ITC, WeCube, DevSize Consultancy, Widergy, Circulion, and WeJustify. Those are the 7 companies where we are really happy to have them on board for this exciting upcoming journey the next 6 months. I myself, Space Vertical Coordinator, am absolutely delighted to announce that we have Hypernova Space Technologies, AM4IM, Digentera, the Lunar Grid, and White in the Space Vertical. And I'm looking forward, of course, to work with all of you during the coaching phase of the program. It will be fun and exciting times, I think. In the health tech vertical, which is managed by my colleague Stephanie Silvestri, we have the following 5 companies: VoiceMat, Kidden AI, Dinaccurate, Acnatech, and Dropslack Technologies. So congratulations to those 5 companies. We are looking forward to work with you also, of course, until July of this year. And then again, my own pleasure, as I'm taking over the HPC and data analytics track of this 12th edition of the Fit for Start program, to have RSS Hydro, Databook Systems, and Mopso in this inauguration pilot edition of our HPC and DA track. Will be, of course, also a very exciting journey ahead. And we are, of course, also looking forward to the contribution here of our partner, LuxProvide. I have said and introduced to you now the companies. You hopefully remember their names, because I think there's a lot to tell about them in the future. But I think it's even more relevant to also present to you quickly their business cases, which is why we have prepared or brought today a 30-second elevator pitch per company, which you will see next.
Our economy is being electrified. Our cars, scooters, bikes now all have battery packs. But do you know what happens when these battery packs don't work anymore? The battery packs are shredded and recycled in an energy-intensive process to regain the raw materials. However, 80% of these cells in these battery packs can still be used. Therefore, we at Circulion have developed an automated process to recover these cells and reuse them in new functions, thereby fulfilling our vision of maximizing the value of each lithium-ion cell.
To verify GDPR compliance of a company, one have to visit company website, read its privacy policy and related documents, and also have to meet concerned people. Normally, this process takes a number of days. Alternatively, we have created TrustChain. TrustChain is a blockchain-based search engine that allows its users to verify GDPR compliance of a company just in minutes rather than days.
Traffic jam is one of the most painful problems we have today. We are a group of domain experts from the field of computer vision, machine learning, and traffic management. Our system succeeds mathematically proof that many traffic jams could be prevented if we manage them right before it even starts to accumulate. And we also write a patent on this approach, without changing anything in the hardware of the infrastructure. Everything by connected to the existing infrastructure, analyze and prevent. Once we understand what is the proper response, this is the timing of the traffic light, we send it back to the traffic light for the real-time execution.
Data are everywhere. Many data are publicly available and anything else can be turned into data. How to browse multiple sources, how to combine different formats, and how to do it quickly. At Rejustify.com, we develop a technology to find, access, and merge data from multiple sources in appropriate formats in real time, just like this. At Rejustify, we turn people into data heroes. Thank you.
What drives us at Drivergy is to achieve 100% renewable energies in electric vehicles. And to achieve that, charging electric vehicles optimally is key. And we are the end-to-end platform provider for it. We take in energy systems, charging infrastructure, and mobility data and feed it into our smart algorithms and provide a compelling app experience to fleet managers so that they can contribute to enable a successful energy transition and achieve the lowest costs possible in a very flexible way.
Bees are an essential component of the ecosystem of our planet. Unfortunately, bees population is declining year after year. Our solution is the next generation beehive. Combining science and technology, we have developed the most sophisticated beehive in the world. It is sustainable and it is free of chemicals. Do you want to know more? Join us. We will save the bees and secure the global food supply.
Hi, I'm Fani and I'm the founder of Vestis Labs. Coming from the fashion industry, I witnessed firsthand how wasteful and inefficient it is. Vestis Labs is a cloud-based platform to help fashion brands digitalize and streamline their product development process, reduce waste, time, and cost by leveraging 3D technology and machine learning. Brands can also manage their collections, collaborate, and communicate on the same platform. Let's get lean and digital with Vestis Labs.
IM4EM is a new company located in Luxembourg working on the development of new aluminum powder for additive manufacturing. Our patented plasma treatment is able to produce advanced powder that will generate dense and crack-free parts by additive manufacturing. This represents a major challenge within the industry. We are targeting three main markets: automotive, aeronautic, and space. If you want to learn more about our technology, please contact us.
Digantara is an Indian space company that is building a two-fold solution towards addressing the problem of space situational awareness and space traffic management. We are building a constellation of satellites to track objects up to 1 centimeter in size. Along with it, we are developing a software called as SpaceMap. SpaceMap will be as sophisticated as Google Maps, essentially building an infrastructure layer on which all future space operations can be run.
My name is Jonathan Lunn, CEO of Hypernova Space Technologies. Hypernova's goal is to build cutting-edge propulsion technologies to enable new and sustainable business use cases for satellites in space. Our team has developed in record time solid metal plasma thrusters technology, which will be demonstrated in low Earth orbit later this year. We're honored to be part of the Luxembourg Fit for Start program. Follow our journey at hypernovaspace.com.
Hi, I'm Gauthier, the co-founder of RIDE, the digital platform empowering the launch as a service. At RIDE, we allow satellite operators, which could be universities, research centers, or private companies, to regain control of their launch into space by allowing them to select the best combination services suited to their needs. Launch vehicles, deployers, insurers, logisticians. On the other side, we provide space service providers with a personalized access that allows them to respond directly to satellite operators' requests while giving them access to business intelligence indicators for a subscription fee.
Hello, we are the Lunar Grid, and we provide energy to all actors across the surface of the Moon. By means of lasers, we are distributing electrical energy to all lunar systems and enable rovers, telecommunication beacons, or lunar habitats to operate in this harsh environment. This will greatly reduce the cost of lunar missions and enables whole new capabilities for lunar exploration and for excavating the valuable resources on the Moon. Hence, the Lunar Grid powers the lunar economy.
We are Acnatech, a medical device manufacturer in the field of ophthalmology. Acnatech developed an ocular imaging technology which can help eye surgeons to improve cataract surgery. Cataract surgery is the #1 surgical procedure in the United States with over 3.6 million surgeries per year. We create win-win situation not only for the patients, but also for eye surgeons and healthcare system, enabling better cataract treatment and avoiding risks and costs.
One of the big challenges for health sector is that medical personnel misses tools to receive instant response for queries or technical problems from the medical device specialist. This is why our platform at DropsLab integrates augmented reality and remote support capabilities to ensure fewer errors at the operating room. Therefore, we would like to welcome you to take a deep dive into DropsLab technologies and discover the transformation for the health sector.
My name is Dermot Doyle and I'm the CEO of Untitled. One of the biggest problems today in linked data and knowledge graphs is the necessity of achieving shared meaning between different data sets. If terminology is not commonly understood between different systems, we must use time-consuming manual checks each time we access and share. This is a major obstacle in how we process and exploit, for example, health data. Untitled solves this issue by using the power of artificial intelligence to deliver semantic interoperability, unambiguous shared meaning, to linked data at scale.
Hi everyone, I'm Quentin, I'm the CEO of Kidney Imaging. My partner and I developed Kidney, which is a complete solution for renal scintigraphy. Our aspiration is to help the physicians to calculate instantly parameters for the medical interpretation and furthermore surgical decision. It's essential for us to improve diagnosis, especially for kids, which is going to be a game changer on the market. Thank you and see you soon.
My name is Ariana Arianzo and I'm the CEO of VoiceMed. We offer a digital health technology that supports remote patient monitoring of respiratory conditions and their well-being. And we are doing so with an innovative algorithm that analyzes information from sounds of users, including cough, voice, and breath. We are happy to involve more partners in the Luxembourg ecosystem that envisions, like us, a world where healthcare is more accessible everywhere and at any time.
Hi, my name is Ahmad. I am the CEO and founder of Databoard System. At Databoard, we developed an innovative way for rain monitoring using existing satellite network. Our solution is based on machine learning algorithms, and it's affordable and scalable, which makes it easy to expand globally. Today, our solution is operational in France, and this year, we're going to launch it in Latin America. Thank you.
I'm Andrea Danielli, the CEO of Mopso, and I'm really grateful for being here to present my startup. Mopso Brain is a software platform based on a proprietary knowledge graph that helps financial institutions in two ways. Firstly, it integrates information from multiple sources in order to have a complete view of their customer laundering risk. And secondly, it detects suspicious activities through social network analysis of customer connection, reducing regulatory sanctions.
Flood disasters are increasing and presenting us with new challenges almost every day. Our society uses the newest geospatial technologies for a more sustainable future for all. We are making a real impact by offering climate change-aware risk analysis. Our flood risk maps are compliant with the Luxembourg Klimapact initiative and national management strategies. Let's innovate together.
Wow, this really is exciting. I'm really looking forward to continue working with all of these startups during the coaching phase of Fit for Start. Congrats again to all of the selected startups, well deserved. And let me end this session actually with a call to action from our side. Of course, the Fit for Start journey doesn't end here. Fit for Start 13 is already in the pipe. So we can just recommend to you to pre-register if you're a startup, if you're an innovative tech innovator, the data-driven project, a good entrepreneur. Give it a try, as Stephanie mentioned at the beginning of the session. Right now, you should have a small pop-up window which immediately connects you with our website. If not, fitforstart.com is the page to be in order to pre-register to the next Fit for Start edition and to be informed about all program-related news and deadlines. So thanks a lot for joining. It was a real pleasure to moderate this session with you today. Please take good care of yourself in this persisting difficult situation, and I really hope to see you very soon here in Luxembourg on the ground for a physical event. Cheers. Have a lovely evening.